Okay, today I'm going to share the best and worst trades. And I'm a kind of bad news first kind of guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm a good news first kind of guy, but I'm going to share the bad news. So we're going to start with the worst trade. The worst trade was the one I told you about yesterday that was the best trade, and that was Shiba Inu. If you watched my video yesterday, you know that I have been holding that for a while. And so you can see here, these are all the buys that I took. And so I was just dollar cost averaging. And it also happened to be the same strategy that was my best. So these are all the buys I did. And so let's go to chart settings here. I can remove those little trading records. So yeah, basically this position as far as this year is down 30%, but I'm very excited because it just made a huge breakout of this channel, and I think this could be the trade of my life. Okay. I talked about that yesterday, so go back and check. So what is actually my worst trade could end up being my best trade, and it's not really my worst trade officially because I didn't close the position, right? And I'm not a big believer that you hold a position to zero. I just saw someone in the comments, they said they had to hold it to almost zero, and that happens. You know, with trading, you risk it and you risk it, especially if you believe that it's going to come around, which I did for this one. And, you know, those have been my really big trades of the ones that I've really believed in and they really took off. And another one of those happened to be Coinbase. Okay. And so Coinbase was my best trade of the year. And I'm going to highlight exactly what I did with Coinbase. And this was a longer trade as well, but I got in initially right around 1021, which is about the same time I got into Shiba Inu, honestly. And I started to get in, and then it was started out really nice, but then it started to tank. So I got in like $300. But then you can see boom, 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 all the way down to $31. I mean, it was a disaster from 300 to 30. My portfolio was looking so ugly. But I did the same thing as I just kept buying. I just kept buying. And if you keep buying, you know, dollar cost averaging is kind of fun unless it goes to zero. But if if it just keeps grinding lower, but if the thing is good and it comes back, you're going to see some big gains. Okay. And so it came down here. I kept buying. This is January was the low. And then this year, look at it. And then we just took off. And right now it's at $147. And my first entry was 300, right? So you'd still say, oh, well, you're still down 50%. But no, because my average price now is like something like $60. And so just year to date, if you look at my year to date holdings, I'm up something like 350%. It is absolutely phenomenal how much money when you just keep stacking, and then the thing takes off. It's amazing and how well it actually ends up in your favor when it turns. And now this thing is an absolute wrecking machine right now. I mean, this thing is great. I'm thinking it's going to get up to 200, 210. I don't know when I'm going to sell, but right now, look, these are weekly charts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks in a row. It's just on fire right now. And so I'm going to be just watching this thing, and I might close it and roll it into something else. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But I wanted to share some trade ideas this is one that a friend of mine gave me. And then I'm going to give you 2 trade ideas today. Actually, I'm going to give you guys three trade ideas. Okay. So one is Hood, and you can see I actually have trades on Hood. Okay. So disclaimer, I have a position open already. Actually, I think I don't have positions on all of these. So Hood just broke this trend line. Okay. And it's just like Coinbase. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. But you know what? I like Robinhood. You know, for a while I had an issue with them, but then, you know, their customer support was really bad initially, but they've just been improving, and I just really like them. And look at this, right? This is a sideways channel. It broke out. It still didn't break out the top, right? Still didn't break out the top, but I think this thing could be a really awesome. Just they're easy to use. I do crypto, and so their crypto's easy. They got instant deposits. They have a lot of really good features for traders. And so, I thought, why not? Especially right here. I also read an article. I'm not a big fundamental person and I don't follow people, but well, that's not true. I do follow some people, not like, I don't follow them like, hang on their every word, but I just glance at articles and stuff. And one of the people I follow is Cathie Wood, and she just put a ton of money into Robinhood. So when I read that, I'm like, let me look at the chart. And I saw Robinhood. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a trade, right? So this breakout was huge. Last week we paused, but I think we're going to get another pop up. And once it breaks this 13, this could be the trade, right? So there's some really big ones that I'm outlining that I'm looking forward to. SHIB is one, Shiba Inu, SHIB USD. I'm looking at this hood trade to be big. My Coinbase trade already did really well. And so now this is another trade that I'm really excited about. And if I have told you on the channel already, I'm sorry. But this YCL, I got in here. I've got on this break, and then I do currency trading. So this is a yen shares. This is a yen ETF. So I actually, in my currency account, I have USD yen short, which is turning out to could be the trade of the year for me. I didn't even mention I'm up almost 1,000 pips on that on the USD yen short. But I also took this at the same time. This is a pattern. Let me show you this pattern here. This is a pattern that I call the hot dog pattern. And it's not an official hot dog, but it's when it comes down, price breaks, and then it breaks out the top. Okay, and so you see that pattern. And then not only did it do that, it broke out of the box, broke the trend line, broke the 10-period moving average. And so I'm like, I'm in, because this is a long-term downtrend. And so fundamentally, which means, news in the world, they were talking about lowering interest rates. That could cause the yen versus the dollar to go up. Okay, the other thing is that Japan was actually talking about raising rates. And if they do that, I think that this thing could really rock. So it's good just to hang on to. I think it could be the trade of the year. So I've got some trades now that when we're around this time next year, we could be all looking at it and be like, oh man, what a year, right? 2024, I think it's the year. I think this is the year. And I'm an optimist, right? So forgive me for that. I think for me to be an optimist, it's important as a trader. All right, now, one more, okay? Here we go. Russell, look at the Russie Russ, okay? It broke this, and this is kind of a jacked up trend line, okay? But let's do a horizontal. Let's add a horizontal here, okay? And I'm going to add this. All right, let's look at this. Okay, it did not close above. It popped up, it surged up to 200, and then it rejected. Okay, but this is a really big channel. If this thing breaks, all right, IWM, this is an iShares ETF. It's kind of like the SPY. But if this thing breaks, we could very easily get all-time highs. And this was one that a friend of mine showed me. A couple friends of mine have been looking at this trade. But look at the last time. I like to look at some of these other things. The last time this happened, 1, 2, and then it went from 160 up to 238. And so I think that this time we could see 238, and I think we could even see 300. So I am being prepared if it can break above this one more time to go in here. Look at that volume too. That's a nice volume spike. But if it's going to break this week, I'm looking at possibly going in heavy, and I think it could be a really solid trade. So again, let me know in the comments. I've had some great comments from some people recently, and I am so thankful for people engaging with the content. I like that. And so ask me questions. Give me some feedback. You could even tell me, where you disagree with me or what you think I'm doing wrong, or, give me trade ideas, whatever it is. I just want to try to build a community here on YouTube. for people just to talk trading and to help each other out. That's the thing that's helped me out the most, is just being around some really good traders and developing my skills with other traders. And so this is a perfect forum for that. And that's my trades for today. It's the IWM, the YCL, and Hood. Those were the three. And then I talked about my best and worst trades of 2023. I'm looking forward to a great 2024. I still got a lot of content I'm going to be putting out if you guys want anything else, but I'm going to be talking about my trading plan, and it is a doozy. This 2024 is going to be doozy, and I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do it in one epic long video, if I'm going to do a live webinar. I don't know. If you have any ideas or thoughts, give me some feedback in the comments. But all right, thanks everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great trading week.